Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rich Taylor, Spec Media YouTube channel, bringing you another episode of By the Dip. This is episode 32. We have a very, very special guest, a good friend of the community and the channel, none other than Mickey from SWAGGLEHAUS Comics.
What's
Hello.
going on? Good to
How
see you
are
guys.
Very happy
Yeah.
we made it.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we haven't talked since San Diego.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I feel like not to derail the show, but I feel like we got to get a little bit of the download. How was you get back okay? The show was good for you, San Diego?
Oh yeah, amazing. I can't wait until next year to go again. Like I had that much fun. Like
Rich will have to come out next time.
Yeah, I really want to go. I want to go.
That's what Bryan and Sean are saying, that we need to just keep on, get the momentum going. Like more people show up to the con. Like you'll be surprised of how many people you just run into at the con. Like, that also make content, and it's just fun. Like running to see almost anyone. Like the last day we ran into CB Sobolski.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And Dennis knew him, and so we were standing there talking to him for like a good 5-10 minutes or whatever. So
very interesting. Yeah, San Diego is the best. It's not the best comic buying show, but it's definitely the best, in my opinion, social experience.
Everything put together, kind of just
it's so fun, and the way where the con is right against Gaslamp, if people are familiar with San Diego. So it's the walk score is really good compared to other cons where maybe they're just in the middle of a downtown. You can't walk to the bar, which is across the street. So San Diego's fun for that.
Yeah, dude, I definitely want to go. I was telling Ben backstage at first, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $4,000 to hang out with a bunch of dudes, even though they're my friends. I was just kind of joking, but I'm a little bit serious. But then I was like, but if I've never met these guys before, Aaron, Bryan, Sean, you, DeVoe. I mean, so many guys. It's number one on my list. So, but I just couldn't do it. Everything that was happening with my dog, I spent so much. I literally spent every single penny I had. I borrowed money for people to try to save my dog's life. Just didn't happen. He's in a much better place now, though, because he was in a lot of pain, and that's kind of what's getting me through the days. But next year, I definitely want to go because I'm going back to work 100% on the 9th. I just started my continued education to get my license back active. I'm getting new licenses. And I should have money next year. So that's the big thing.
Money to buy the dip.
To buy the dip.
Yeah.
That's funny. Aaron, what have you been up to? I heard some crazy stuff happening at Rice. So you're telling me and Mickey backstage.
I don't know if
murder suicide or
I don't know if I can comment on it publicly. So
okay, no problem.
So just check out the news for Rice University that happened yesterday. Is what I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Well, we want the inside spec, bro. No, okay.
I mean, honestly, there's not, everything I'm hearing from the news outlet is what I'm basically, seeing and hearing. But yeah, it's some crazy news, and I saw nothing but reporters running around campus today, where they're standing outside trying to interview people. I had coworkers even telling me that they saw reporters inside our building. So
wow, that's crazy. Sorry to hear that, man. That's got to be tough at the workplace. Yeah,
I'm just upset I can't finish a project because it was in the building that it happened. So I think I'm more upset about. I mean, it's obviously sad, but yeah.
Well, better times ahead. And it is the beginning of college football season, like you were saying. You saying Rice has a game on Saturday. Who they're playing? Anybody good or USC? Are they playing USC?
Oh wait, I actually did write it out. I have it on the calendar. Let's see. They are playing Sam Houston.
Okay, that should be a good game because they're both kind of
so teams.
Rice should Rice should actually beat them.
Yeah, smaller programs.
Yeah, I really like football, so But anyways, all right. So we only have 9 in the chat, which is kind of down. Usually we got about 20 right now, but no big deal. Brian's going off right now. He's going crazy via industry show. The show is one of the best shows I've seen on YouTube. I was just saying to somebody the other day, I was like, I really like what Brian's channel is right now because it's like, you know, it's got everything. You know, it's cards, comics, spec, collectors, OA, and then he goes around toys, and then he goes a comedy, and of course drama, and then you flip it around, circle back to Tuesday, and that right there kind of covers the whole shebang. You get the backside, the industry show, you know, you get to hear straight from the horse's mouth of the retailers, you know, their point of view, and that's I think that's really important.
Yeah, doing the consistency of the shows too. That's like, man,
that's key.
That's so hard to do, you know, and especially where it's like, okay, you with the industry show, which I assume is like, you know, he kind of has to book a guest every week, so that's a whole other element, you know, to it.
Well,
which,
he always has recurring co-hosts, right?
Right,
with Jesse James and Dennis. So even if they don't get a guest on for a show, they can still talk about industry stuff that collectors, you know, have no clue about, or you know, because like, you know, how many times have you seen our show where Jesse and Dennis or other retailers are typing up a storm where it's like kind of like, that's not right.
Yeah. Shout out to Dennis. He'll definitely let you know in the chat. That's for sure.
Love Dennis. I've always been a fan of Dennis. I've always been a fan. Before he was coming on to exactly. Before he was going, yep. Well, I love it.
Well, so many people asked me, like, they heard that I was on the road with Dennis for 6 hours, and I was like, everyone was like, how was that? I was like, it was just like a normal road trip. Like, he hung out in the back, Bryan and I sat in the front jamming music. He listened to his like podcast or whatever he was listening to on the way there, and you know, it was just like a normal road trip, honestly.
People are asking you, like, he set up a booth in the back seat and he was like trying to slang comics on the way there. On the freeway.
No. He always asked me why he wasn't getting good Wi-Fi on the road.
Oh, there you go. Good one, Aaron. Good one. Yeah. All right, guys, it's about that time. Appreciate Swag for being here, and of course Aaron for showing up for another episode of By the Dip. I know it's a lot for him, so I really do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, double click that notification bell to all so you don't miss any content forthwith. And guys, leave me a comment, leave Aaron and I should say, and at this point Mickey, a comment, question, feedback. Make sure you keep it clean, San Diego, keep it classy, San Diego, and all that good stuff. And we always answer everything, so I really appreciate you guys. Let us know what you think. And if you are shipping comics through the mail, UPS, DHL, USPS, FedEx, make sure you're using Gemini Comic Supply. Use the code popcorn99. You'll get 10% off actually every single purchase. There's a bonus code for your buddy, SSP99, like super short print. Let's go ahead and get into this now. And let's bring up the boys. All right. So now we have some recent MCU news. We're going to go ahead and get into Swag's channel and stuff he's doing towards the end of the show. So let's go ahead and get right into the MCU news, and then I'll hit the chat. So we have an update on Agatha All Along that literally dropped last night at 11:32 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm really excited for this, but let's go ahead and read it verbatim. So it says, Agatha All Along is apparently very, very good. On a recent episode of Robert Meyer Burnett's podcast, so he is the filmmaker, writer, editor, and producer. Not of this, but just in general. Robservations is the podcast. He revealed some exciting news regarding how Disney Plus's Agatha All Along may be reviewed by critics. According to Burnett on his podcast, who spoke with an unnamed industry insider, the upcoming Disney Plus show is actually, quote, really good, end quote. Wow, that's awesome. I like that. And then he says it's going to likely surprise the fans. That is awesome. Burnett also mentions that the insider he conversed, or That's a new word for me. With also mentioned that the Wonder Man series is also surprisingly good. Sounds kind of like a pump, but we'll see. Meaning that 2 of the MCU's upcoming projects that fans have been a bit worried about will seemingly deliver in a strong way. He went on and continued on these 2 projects, and he quoted, "We're getting Agatha all along, and I heard from an insider that it's actually really good. I heard that both Wonder Man and Agatha all along were actually very, very good, surprisingly good, which made me really, really happy and excited." End quote. Burnett went on to say that the person he talked to is someone he, quote, trusts, in paraphrases, and that they were in a position to see elements of the 2 shows, which they described as being really, really good and better than he had ever thought they would be. He alluded to that by saying, "The person who I trust saw this and was in a position to see elements of these things, said they were surprisingly good, more so that he had ever thought they would actually be once they were released," and the reviews were apparent. But apparently they are really good. I haven't seen it myself, but this is coming from my friend who has the inside. End quote. What will make Agatha All Along review so good? Although Agatha All Along is premiering in less than a month as of writing, fan excitement for the upcoming show doesn't seem to be terribly high, but that may end up working in the show's favor. So what he's saying is expect the worst, get the best. In the past, no matter what the franchise, it is in the MCU or Disney Plus, when an upcoming release doesn't have a lot of hype or high expectations surrounding it, it ends up delivering, and it is often seen as an even bigger success, which seems to be the case with Agatha All Along. The MCU has a tendency to objectively make all the right moves when it comes to putting together a series or a film. But it is no secret that fans have voiced their displeasure with some recent projects. So basically phase 4, except like WandaVision, which has ultimately affected the preconceived notions attached to Agatha All Along. As mentioned, WandaVision was extremely successful when it premiered, so Agatha All Along has always had its back against the wall. In a way, it is a direct sequel to that series. Wow. Interesting. However,
I just want to know real quick.
Yeah.
How many times does this writer have to say really good within the first like, paragraph? Like,
it's actually not the writer. He's actually quoting. He's quoting and paraphrasing. It's actually the
really
person
good.
He interviews.
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Like you work in Hollywood. Like, what does that mean to you? Like when someone's like to your work is like, oh, that was surprisingly good.
Kind of a pump.
Really good.
It's kind of the, you rock meme where he's just like smiling through his teeth. Like, yeah, it's great, man. Yeah.
Really good. Puppet Master. I like it. All right, let me finish this up. However, at least according to Burnett's comments and his trusted source, it will end up coming through and proving itself as a worthy addition to the MCU's timeline, aka ever-growing library. So that's pretty cool. First appearance of Agatha Harkness is, off the top of my head, Fantastic Four, I think, 94.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of other books that are tied in. I mean, she's actually she's got a lot going on in the comics. Not just her bloodline, her family. I don't know if you guys remember in 2019, Marvel Comics Presents put out like volume 3 or 4. And there was a first appearance of a new Wolverine kid named Ryan or Reen. And she has magic and claws. Her first appearance is in 5. Her first full appearance is in 6. And her first mention is in 1 because she's narrating the series. She is Agatha Harkness, I want to say niece or cousin, first cousin. So that's where she gets the magic and the claws for Wolverine. Yet Wolverine, at least it hasn't been retconned, it hasn't been told yet, Wolverine didn't dip his stick into the Halloween bucket, if you know what I mean. They did the full-blown mutant, genetic code. That, you know what I'm saying? So anyways.
Oh, she's a test tube baby.
Test tube, baby. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I think that Wolverine 80 with a little test tube with X23, I think that's a sleeper. That's a sleeper, man. Those newsstands.
I mean, but then you could also say like the same thing about what Nathan Summers as a baby.
Yeah, good point. You know how I feel about Baby Spec.
Yeah, Baby Cable. You know, remember that book?
Yeah.
Oh, what about dead babies? Like Aqualad dying? Okay, never mind.
No, avoid the Baby Spec. I think.
Good man. That's why I love your channel. All right. We have a update that dropped this morning of when Deadpool and Wolverine Disney Plus release is expected. There's no spoilers, at least for here, guys. So just hang out. But I know a lot of you are not going to the movies, and or maybe the opportunity hasn't gone either monetary or you just don't have time. But I have an exciting update for you guys of when we're going to see this series on Disney Plus. After breaking nearly every R-rated box office record, here's when to expect Deadpool and Wolverine on the streaming channel Disney Plus. Let's see here. So, following some tweaking during COVID-19 pandemic and beyond, Marvel Studios' latest movies have been consistently released on Disney Plus 89 days after the release. Like Shang-Chi was released 70 days after it was released. Eternals was released 68 days. Doctor Strange 2, so on and so forth. And the last three movies, though, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and the Marvels were all released 89 days after the actual what do you call that? Theatrical release.
Theatrical release.
Yeah. If Deadpool and Wolverine were to follow this 2023 pattern, the hit film's Disney Plus streaming date would be somewhere around October 23rd. However, expectations for Deadpool and Wolverine, aka Deadpool 3, should be delayed given its success. Probably going to be a re-release, but they're looking to push it for streaming into November around the holidays, even near the end of the year this December. The box office performance of the film cannot be understated, with it vaulting back up to the #1 spot domestically this last weekend. So it dropped from the #1 spot the weekend before, and it got back up there. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Has it hit $1 billion worldwide?
Okay. Oh yeah,
yeah. It's over $1 billion for sure.
Yeah, because I listened to Robservations like talking about it, and I was like, is he just blowing smoke? Like because half the time I don't know if he's like over exaggerating stuff or if it's just like the way it is. Just because he gets so excited about anything.
So we're gonna put the boys on top because I like to show comments, and I don't want you guys to get covered up. Okay, so Funhouse Comics gives us a super chat. Of course, he's holding it down with the wrench. Mikey Katz, aka Funhouse Comics. Mike, I saw you did message me, but unfortunately I was trying to make the start time here, so I apologize. So I appreciate it. Thank you for the $1.99. You were so awesome. I just sent him the first appearance on the cover, first cover appearance of Gwenpool, the Bacalo percentile qualifier or retailer unlock variant from Deadpool Secret Wars. Did you get a chance, Mike, to see the condition? Like I told you, I've had that book multiple times. I was the best conditioned one, and it never been pressed. So I really hope that you get a 9.9 with that baby. So, all right. Let's see here. Let's say hi to Brandon Metro's in the house. Appreciate you.
What up?
Appreciate you. Hell yeah. Derek Neiman. Hey guys. What up, Derek?
What up?
What's going on?
Oh yeah, my guy. What up, man? Throwing up the horns *4. Love it. Goes on and says, hope you and your pops are doing well, Richie. Thank you very much. My dad's still trying to he's trying to get through this, and I'm in a better mood position in the sense from a mental and emotional standpoint or point of view. But you guys know, if you've lost a pet or if you've lost a loved one, you know exactly what I'm going through, because that's how I felt my dog was. He was a part of the family. I didn't even really look at him as a pet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mighty Mike, what up, man? Smash that like if you're watching this. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm really glad that you hit the chat. John L's in the chat throwing up the horns. Love it, baby. Metal, baby. Hell yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know why Mike. I can never do the thing.
Show him, man.
So do you have a Mac?
No.
Okay, so
that's
this is
it's
a Mac. It's a Mac thing. Yeah.
You've been
So,
doing
like,
this the whole time. You're like, what the hell?
I've been on so many work Zooms wondering about this whole thing, and everyone just does all the. It just wow, that blew my mind. It's a Mac.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's a Mac thing.
There you go, guys. Mac greater than PC.
And Aaron has like he has the verbal tutorial dialed down.
There we go. There's
there
one.
you go. Oh, that's a new one, Aaron.
And then balloons.
What the hell, dude?
Damn.
Aaron, did you do your due diligence on this or what?
Here's 2 thumbs down. I think this is one. It's supposed to do something. It's supposed to rain.
Nope.
Nope. It's not working.
Aaron's girlfriend pops out of the screen and hits him over the head. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna hit the chat again, so I appreciate you guys. A lot of our friends are in the chat, and
I've been highlighting the
channel.
I've been highlighting the chat comments like as we're talking about the item.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We have some spec before we get into the list, so I hope you guys enjoy this. All right, so if you guys have watched past streams that I've been on Bryan's channel, probably Mickey SWAGGLEHAUS probably talked about this, but on Reddit there's an awesome MCU or Marvel Studios subreddit, and it basically just updates tweets, scoops, news almost in real time. And sometimes stuff comes late, but they're pretty quick, and there's oversight. So the mods, they take it very serious. They actually screen everything, anything that's coming from somebody who's unreliable or known for bullshit. They'll warn you. They will tell you like what this person's a success rate is, so on and so forth. So we're going to get into this right now. And one of those people that they do like is from the Cosmic Circus. They actually rate this person. His name's Alex PEREZ, and the other owner of the site, Lizzie Hill, as a tier 1 reliable source as decided by the community. For Marvel, they had an 89.55% accuracy rate from 228 leaks that they can currently verify out of 612, which is actually really good, because anything over anything over like 50%, they're like they consider like decent, like reliable, you know. All right, so now there was a tweet by My Time to Shine Hello. It was retweeted multiple times, like Cosmic Marvel and this and that. And then Daniel RPK went into it. They all basically got the same information, but supposedly Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, is going to be in the new Vision series, Vision Quest. Okay. But no one understood like who she was playing, if she's going to play like a variant of Elizabeth Olsen or Scarlet Witch, or if she is just going to be, you know, another character that is tied into the Vision from the source material of the comics. But according to Alex PEREZ, and before I tell you this, I want to add one more thing. There was a tweet about 3 days before this that basically Deadline reported that Elizabeth Olsen was confirmed for the Vision Quest. Then there was a tweet by My Time to Shine Hello that said, if Elizabeth Olsen is indeed confirmed in Vision Quest, what character would you like her to play? So Alex PEREZ, 2 days after, which was yesterday, not today, but it was yesterday, he tweeted this, and appears to be hinting Elizabeth Olsen may portray Virginia Vision in Vision Quest. Okay. Scarlet Witch updates on Twitter is basically saying Scarlet Witch Wanda Maximoff might return in the untitled Vision series from August 23rd. And Alex PEREZ is following up that along with all the tweets tied into that. And he is putting here this. So this is what I don't know if he quote tweeted it or what, but this is what he put. And that right there is supposedly Virginia. I do not know how to fix. Kind of looks like Viv. I don't know what. But anyways, yeah, supposedly it's Virginia Vision. Okay, so let's go over some first appearances of, just to let you know who Virginia Vision is if you're not aware. That is the mother of Viv Vision and the other kid, wife of Vision, from the 2015-2016 Vision 12 issue a series. Okay, and let's go into that. So here is her first appearance. She's actually on the cover of this book. Okay, this book was ordered by retailers to the clip of just south of 43,000 copies. Okay, there are 4 covers to this book, including a gorgeous Dale, I think it's a Dale Keown incentive, but we'll get into that in a second. Here is the hip hop Vision Vision 1 variant. This one's always been popular, super tough and high grade, all that black. And I believe that's a percentile qualifier, right, Aaron? The hip hop.
I can't remember about this one, but I know I've never seen this one in person.
Okay, cool. This one right here. Sorry, go ahead, Aaron. My bad.
I can't remember. It's like one of those weird like incentives where it's like a 1 in 100 or whatever. But I don't think it is. I can look it up while we're chatting.
I appreciate you, brother. You're the best. Okay, this one right here is the Marcos Martin 1 in 20, which I think is really good, but she's not on the cover, right? So if we're specking on Viv and Virginia, she's not on the cover, but hey, it's more rare. It's more rare, especially if it's a 43K. A 1 in 20 is basically what is that? I want to say what, 5% of the estimated run off the top. So you could do the math, and of course, it's always estimated. There could be a box in a warehouse somewhere. I don't know, but I really like this one a lot, and I like the fact that it's kind of blurry. You know, it kind of gives you that blurry, and it's Vision. You know, I see what you did there, Marvel. But yeah, so that's cool. I really like this one. This is the monster, though. This is the big one. Everybody knows this book. It's no secret. This is cover C. This is the Ryan Sook 1 in 25. It has always been a big book. It is down in value, and it almost made the list, but unfortunately, there's a little bit of bump just today, so we'll get into that later. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit more. Here's your second appearance of Virginia Vision. Retailers ordered this book to the tune, I want to say, close to about 20% less than issue 1, 20 to 25%. Here is the one I like. This would be, unless there's another book. So I don't want to call this a first cover because I didn't go that far, but let's just say this is one of the first, okay, of her first like cover solo. Okay, so she is on the cover of 1, but here she is by herself. And now I'm looking at her hair. That does make sense what Alex Perez said. Like, you see the back of the head. Like, yeah, I guess that is Virginia.
That's a great cover. The Grim Reaper right there. That's just super. It's really fun.
So good. This is a Del Mundo cover. He did a bunch of covers, but this book is actually lower. I want to say that I thought I saw Comicron said somewhere close to 20, maybe 20K. There are 10 CGC 9/8 of this book. It's just cover A, regular cover. And if it is her first, I think it's her first solo cover. It's not her first cover appearance, but her first solo cover. Where you actually see her full body. But on top of that, if not, it's one of her first, and it's pretty cool. Right here is pretty interesting, kind of like a lot of meaning behind it, because you know he's not human, and the cops kind of being a little bit rough with him. I think that's what they're kind of saying, you know, kind of things that we've gone through in our world today. So I thought that was pretty interesting with Virginia kind of holding the kids and stuff. But let's get into the next one. This is one I really like, though. This one is just the issue 6 from the same series, just the regular cover. Okay, but this is great because Virginia and Vision are kissing, but it's not like something gross or weird. It's like a very tasteful cover. It's a beautiful art, and there's only 23 CGC 9/8 on the census of this book. Here is, I want to say the last issue, issue 12. I thought this one is really cool. Couple reasons why, because the whole family's there along with Virginia. You see on the outside of the family portrait, it kind of reminds me of the Hex after the Hex burnt down in the MCU. It kind of looks like Apocalypse, you know, but you know, they're playing. What are they playing there? What's that called? Twister, right?
Twister, yeah.
And if you look at Viv, she actually looks like that scene that got cut out of The Exorcist, and then they put it back in where Linda Blair is like walking down the stairs backwards. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's the creepiest thing ever. And I really like this one too. There are 7 9/8 on the census and only 1 9/6. And retailers ordered this book just south of 20,000 copies. And there are no variants for this unless there's a store exclusive, which I doubt because it's under 20K. So pretty cool. Pretty interesting. What do you guys think?
I've always loved like the first issue of this, that cover, you know, just the WandaVision vibe or the 1950s style, you know, what do you call it? Nuclear family.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's, I lose my cool card, nerd card right here. I still have yet to have read this series, but everyone actually talks about that. It's, you know, one of Tom King's greatest works. So you know, I think it's a cool set for sure.
So is that what that is around the family portrait? It's is that referring to the nuclear family, kind of, you think?
It's just kind of that, like 2 kids and 1 dog, sort of like, you know,
white picket
American
fence.
Yeah, white picket fence, American Pie sort of vibe.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
So just think of any, like 50s family is what I always picture in my head,
Yeah.
or like, you know, a family that's preparing for like nuclear fallout, like duck and cover.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is the Michael Cho second print. I thought this one might be a decent one because of the trade's a different color. I like the blue, but I was looking for this on Comic-Con, couldn't find it anywhere. I could only find the first print, but I wouldn't imagine there's much out there because I've never seen this book. Well, I've seen it, of course, but because it's a replay on the regular cover. I want to say for issue 4, or no, it's not the regular cover. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a regular cover. Okay, my bad. And it's a Del Mundo cover. But here, I really like Michael Cho. I don't know about you guys, but I love him. And this is the 1 in 20. And Tom King is still writing it at this point, issue 4, like Swag was saying. Appreciate that. Here is the monster for issue 2. This is the Dale Keown. I want to say a 1 in 20, but it could be a 1 in 25. I'm pretty sure it's a 1 in 20 because the 1 in 25 is actually a Tula Lotte, I believe. But yeah, this one was a big book at one time. It's super hard to find in the wild. It's now all over the secondary. I wouldn't say all over the secondary market online, but it has dropped in value. I mean, this used to be $100 plus book. You can get this book for like, I think around like $50 or something like that in high grade. All right. Here's one I really like. It's by one of my all-time favorite artists, Christian Ward. And one of the reasons why I like this is if you look close on the bottom, he's coming out of the suit, right? Not the iron suit, but the suit and tie. You know, so I really like this one. I've never seen it in the wild. I've actually seen it online a few times, but never pulled the trigger. It was usually pretty expensive, or there was spine ticks. A lot of yellow on there. I would imagine that the ink falls out over by the spine. So be aware if you are planning on going to eBay to grab one of these, make sure you are on desktop or your phone and blow up the spine and make sure you don't see any color breaks on there. All right.
Man, that's some fancy underwear.
Now this one I think is a very interesting play.
Yeah.
Multiple reasons. The obvious reason is if you look at the cover, you have the Scarlet Witches just loving on Vision.
That's Vision Heaven right there.
Vision Heaven. There you go. I mean, that would be a great name for this variant cover. Let's see here. This was a Del Mundo cover as well. And retailers ordered this book to the tune of just south of 19,000 copies in circulation. So take that with a grain of salt. We always add 3K. I say there's 22,000 or yet less estimated. There's only 13 CGC 9/8, which I thought was pretty interesting given that this cover is so interesting and fantastic.
So is this a homage to American Beauty?
Oh, must be.
That's interesting. Yeah, I gotta think you're right because that looks like a rose, right?
Oh, I was just kind of joking, but
wow, good eye, Aaron.
Well, isn't that like isn't the poster for American Beauty, or am I just making that up? Like,
yeah, it had a big rose, and it was kind of like,
and like she's sitting in the middle. Oh yeah, I have the.
If not a direct homage, you feel like the artist kind of used that as reference.
Right. Or like a callback, Easter egg, or whatever you want to call that. Yeah. Aaron's handling the chat, guys. So I appreciate you, Aaron. Thank you so much for that once again. But yeah, I think this is interesting. I wouldn't say it's a low print run, but for a Marvel book, it's on the lower end of the spectrum. Actually, for Marvel, this is a kind of a low print run book. For a regular cover, let's see here. It's how many did I say? I told you I'm getting old swag. 13 CGC 9/8 on the senses. I need my binoculars because I'm older than dirt. Here is some interesting news about Spider-Man 4. We do have an update. There's a lot of stuff going on with Tom Holland right now in the MCU, just to let you know. I'm not going to get into that stuff. This channel is drama-free everywhere, especially when it comes to that stuff. So I implore you guys to go hit up Anthony Mackie's IG if you want to read it. He actually is supporting Tom with whatever's happening with the MCU. But anyways, Spider-Man 4 is expected to start filming next year with an intended July 2026 release date, guys, which I think is very, very cool. I'm very excited, and I believe it will be Tom Holland's last movie, right? Is that what we're hearing, or do they already have another Spider-Man?
I kind of always think that as long as they make money, they'll come back. That's my philosophy.
Or as long as they're making more money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, more money. Yeah. Or if the movie is successful, if Spider-Man 4 comes out and Tom Holland crushes it, like he'll be back.
Yeah.
The almighty dollar. And that's kind of like the I guess you could say the MCU, the vintage MCU. They grab these very young into their career, just made the A-list or about to make the A-list actors. They lock them up for a long period of time because they can get them for literally pennies on the dollar. And then once it's time for contract negotiations, unless your name is RDJ, chances are they're probably going to be leaving the MCU to get killed off, right? Or recast.
Yeah, I think after Secret Wars, it's going to be definitely the the GM looking at the team and being like, all right, what do we want to do with this roster?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I don't know why they. I just don't. I mean, I wouldn't say why, but I just don't see them recasting Tom Holland right before the Secret War stuff's about to.
Yeah, no way. Yeah,
everybody and their mother will be so disappointed if we don't get to see a Tom Holland Spider-Man with the alien symbiote suit, right? I mean, everybody wants to see that.
Dude, he's going to what, Mexico or whatever for spring break in college, and then the symbiote's going to attach to him. That's what's going to happen, right?
No.
Do we know who the villain of Spider-Man 4 is going to be? Who's that next rogue gallery of villain that's in line?
Actually, that's funny. That was actually on the direct today, and there actually, you know what? Let's thank you. I appreciate that question. Let's talk about it. I was actually going to do that. I was actually going to put those slides together today, and so it was on the direct today, and what is it? It says 9 obscure villains perfect for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Let's go ahead and get this up here. Let's see here. All right. So, the writer of this is saying Screwball, 9 options for villains in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Screwball, described as the
Is Screwball that like one that's like the social media influencer?
a live streaming supervillain from
Yeah,
ASM
I didn't know it.
559.
I played the Spider-Man video game, and then I was like, oh, okay. I had never read the comic of this character.
Me too. I got to get your screen name when I. Is it
Oh, yeah.
SWAGGLEHAUS Comics?
SWAGGLEHAUS, yeah.
That's why. Okay, I'll add you. Described as the first live streaming supervillain, Screwball was introduced in Marvel Comics in ASM 559. Okay, it is a she, not a he. Just to let you guys know. Known for committing crimes for Spider-Man to thwart and recording them so she can stream them on the internet, humiliating Spidey while building her online popularity. Kind of reminds me of things that we're going through nowadays. Interesting. We have Tombstone. Lonnie Lincoln from the Marvel Comics is better known as Tombstone, a massive albino man with filed teeth. He is usually depicted as a notorious crime boss deeply embedded in New York City, and he has near impenetrable skin, kind of like Luke Cage. Superhuman reflexes. Tombstone has been rumored for a very long time. He's also a part of the PlayStation game as well. Of course, everybody wants to see him, including me and our boy Bryan. Mr. Negative. Martin Lee is a powerful Marvel supervillain known as Mr. Negative. He gets his name from the colors of his skin, hair, and clothes being inverted when transforming into his alter ego, along with the superhuman strengths and reflexes. Mr. Negative, other powers, mind control, and advanced energy manipulation. Spider Slayers. I never heard of this guy. Do you guys know him?
I remember him. I think he was in the cartoon from back in the 90s. That was like my introduction. He was like one of the characters in it.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen that in a while. I need to
Yeah,
rewatch that.
Okay. Me
Oh,
too,
wait,
yeah.
real quick. Welcome in Oilers Workshop. Thank you,
What's up?
Algorithm, for suggesting our channel for you to join. So thank you so much.
Heck yeah.
If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell. Don't
Yeah.
miss any notifications.
Oilers Workshop has a great channel too. He builds like a lot of like sets and little like miniature stuff. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Okay,
cool. I used to play 40K back in the day.
Yeah. You'll like his stuff.
So
Okay,
we probably
gotcha.
got him from. He probably is referred by you, Swag, right? You know him from your channel.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you for letting me put you on the thumbnail, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. All right. Let's get back into this. This is actually a pretty fun topic. I'm really glad Swag's here and mentioned this. Spider Slayers, aka Alistair Smith, is a legacy villain in Marvel Comics, taken after his father, who's Spencer Smith. Dedication to eliminating Spider-Man. Eventually paralyzed from the waist down, he encases himself in a bionic shell, allowing him to walk again, which also gives him super powers as he adopts the name Ultimate Spider Slayer. Interesting. Outside of the video game based on 2014's Amazing Spider-Man 2, Smythe has not been featured often in past Spider-Man media. Smythe and the Spider Slayers could give the MCU its own mega corporate big bad, similar to Oscorp Industries and Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi's original Spidey trilogy. It could even come around as a new compilation for Stark Industries with Iron Man out of the picture. All right. Agent Venom, Flash Thompson, who I really want Flash Thompson to become Agent Venom. I hope it happens. You guys all know I don't really need to go into it. I know his first appearance is kind of messy because they have the volume inside the volume, because they have the part number 1 and the 1.1. Yeah, that's a long story. But Flash Thompson, you guys know, the high school superstar, who is one of Peter's really good friends, but he's also one of his biggest rivals in school. He's kind of a bully. I don't need to go into it. Hobgoblin, yes, that's who we want to see, right?
Yeah,
and I
that
believe,
one hasn't been done yet, so
we need that. Multiple people in Marvel Comics have taken on the mantle of Hobgoblin, who was first introduced as a criminal mastermind equipped with Halloween-themed weapons similar to the Green Goblin. First person to be unmasked as the Hobgoblin was Ned Leeds, a co-worker of Peter's at the Daily Bugle. He must be talking chronologically. Yeah, probably. In the MCU, Jacob Battalions, is that how you say his last name? The Ned Lead in our MCU, the Filipino guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Battalions. Ned Leeds was seen in all 3 solo movies. You guys refer to him. A lot of people believe that that's Genki Lee from the Ultimate Comics All New Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man source material. That's a lot of people believe, but who knows? Was seen in all 3 solo Spider-Man movies and the most recent Avengers movies as Peter's best friend at Midtown Tech. By the end of No Way Home, Ned has no memory of knowing Peter after their countless adventures together. Jacob Battalion, if I'm saying his name wrong, I apologize, has spoken sparingly on the Hobgoblin idea, which may be more of a possibility now that Ned and Peter are essentially strangers. So if you guys remember, Dr. Strange put that spell, and Peter's mind, everybody that knows Peter, all their minds are wiped, and they have no idea. Now they have no memories of Peter ever being in their existence or Spider-Man. And that was Peter's decision to do that. Okay. Which may be more of a possibility now. And Ned and Peter are essentially strangers. That's where that sentence comes from. What would drive Ned to villainy is still in question, although a reunion like that would bring every bit of drama a comic book fan could ask for. Chameleon. Chameleon's been in the comics lately, guys. I always say this. I really think Chameleon's coming to the MCU. I always say this. Take it with a grain of salt, like I say, because ASM is The Amazing Spider-Man has a huge rogue gallery just like Batman, and they can't use everybody, right? But this is one guy I really like, and Marvel Comics recently, which is the source material, as you guys know, has been hitting this guy. He's been showing up on covers and been making full appearances in the guts. So but I want to hear what he has to say. Chameleon and the Spider-Man have an extensive history dating back to the Web Slinger's first ever solo issue in Marvel Comics from 1963. His real name is Dmitry Smerdyakov. Okay, interesting. Is Spidey's first villain chronologically. Known as a master of disguise who can impersonate virtually anybody he sees. Kind of like a Skrull, right? Shapeshifter. Chameleon is already in line to appear in 2024's Kraven the Hunter, going back to his roots as Kraven's half-brother for Sony Pictures. Considering he is already being used in Sony's Spider-Man universe, soon his potential for an appearance in Spider-Man 4 may not be quite as likely. That's interesting. However, should he enter the equation, he would surely give Tom Holland's hero all he can handle. That's cool. I like that. Yeah. I like that. Prowler, you guys know, Miles' uncle. But what about the original, Hobie Brown? Hobie Brown's Prowler started off as a petty thief before turning his life around once he had an encounter with Spider-Man. Most often, however, he serves as a terrifying villain. And that's kind of like a quick shot of him. The ultimate take on Marvel Comics utilizes Aaron Davis, another career criminal who uses high-tech tools and top-level agility to terrorize the Big Apple. He is also known as the uncle of popular Spider-Man character Miles Morales, which has been explored in the animated Spider-Verse series. Donald Glover took on the role of Aaron Davis in Spider-Man Homecoming, although he has never evolved. He has never evolved into the Prowler in the MCU's continuity. The closest he came to that was a short cameo appearance in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, where he donned the live-action costume in the movie's animated setting. As far as fans know, Davis is still lurking in the MCU, but he has not been seen since Homecoming and shown no signs of evolving into a full supervillain. There's KNULL. How in the hell? This guy actually reads comics. I like it. KNULL, baby. I know you guys.
KNULL would be epic.
I know, man. We gotta. Right. I'm gonna check KNULL prices, and maybe he's gonna make.
Man, that might be a by the dip situation there.
Yeah, he's made the list a couple times.
The third print or the first print?
I'll take either of them. I'd rather have the third print because I've owned 5 raw copies, and I got 9/8 out of those 2 raw copies. Got rid of all those. I've had the second print with that hive mind KNULL. So basically, when KNULL takes over the Venom symbiote, and kind of Eddie's just like, "What's happening here?" A lot of people thought it was Grendel. I've had that one. I've never had the third print one though. That's the one I want.
The third print, was that like an actual Marvel book, or was that wasn't it like a retailer cover with him on it?
No.
Oh no, okay.
It's the cover is interior panel, the last panel of when Knull's sitting on his throne.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one is pretty. Yeah. I'm not usually like a second, third print person, but I feel like that one's kind of hard to not go with that one because he's on the cover.
Oh, Aaron and I have talked about that book so many times because I think we're probably all in the same boat. It's just like kind of like, I don't want to pay a premium for it, inside panel on a cover, right? For a late printing reprint, but that one works. That one works well.
Yeah.
So,
that there's some covers that it works really well for, and there's others where it's kind of like, why?
All right, let's see what he says about Knull. I'm actually interested. This is the first I've read of this. So, one major character that has not been used in live action or animation for Marvel is Knull, who is best known as the being who created symbiotes. His most notable ties are to characters like Venom and Carnage, and he also has a connection to Gore the God Butcher by helping him kill other gods. While Knull has not been seen on screen before, Thor Love and Thunder introduced the Necro Sword for Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher, which Marvel could retcon to have Knull be its creator. Having Knull involved with, oh my God, I don't even want to read this. I'm getting so excited. Okay. Having Knull involved would also help tie Sony's Spider-Man movies and the MCU together more concretely than ever, particularly since the gloop of Venom symbiote may not even be on Earth 616, the inner universe 616. I still call it Earth 1999 anymore. Yeah. While this may be a long shot considering Sony is trying to be passionately to build its own non-MCU story, this would only expand the entire universe further by having Holland face such a terrifying god-level enemy. And that also, guys, that last line right there is pretty interesting because maybe that will also keep our guy, Eddie Brock, on the live action. What's his name? Who's the actor that plays him?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah. Is that his name? Tom Hardy? I don't know. I'm brain farting right now. But yeah, I really like Tom Hardy. I like all of his movies. I haven't seen Bike Rider yet. I'm really excited for Venom 3. I thought Venom 2 was trash. I really liked Venom 1. I thought it was good. And I would imagine Tom Hardy is probably not really planning on too much Venom stuff in the future with everything that is it's being said about part 3, maybe after Secret Wars, bailing or whatever. But hey, if we could get Knull tied in and we could see him in live action, we could actually, I wouldn't mind having Hardy for another 3 installments of Venom. That'd be incredible.
Oh, before we move on to the next character, this was also tied into like some of the Easter egg stuff that they had already.
Absolutely.
With, Gore the God Butcher, right? With the Necro
the
Sword.
Celestial head too. The Celestial head. Remember? Nowhere, right? Nowhere. He cut off the head of the Celestial with, like Aaron was saying, the Necro Sword, and now it is the home. It's called Nowhere, and you guys might remember it in Guardians of the Galaxy movies. That giant celestial godhead that everybody's gambling and doing all this crazy stuff inside. It's like kind of almost like a planet now, right? So
it'd be a good villain. They got to get to Secret Wars, but it feels like after Secret Wars, your next big bad build up.
Oh,
probably would be that'd be the right time to go for a Knull at that point. It's too
hard
to squeeze them in now.
They didn't cover my favorite villain that's been in the Spider-Man films already. The Tree.
Which one?
Who?
Which one?
The Tree.
Who's the tree? Who's the tree?
Groot?
Wasn't there like a tree, just like a random tree, like in one of those prison cells in one of the films?
In Doctor Strange, she was like the tree, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I have to look back for that. Okay.
Maybe the tree was Chameleon.
Oh.
Yeah. Love it, baby. All right. Interesting stuff here. All right, guys, let's get into this now. Everybody's wondering, hey, is Channing Tatum's Gambit gonna, appear again in the MCU. I mean, the guy's been rallying for that character for so long. But let's get into this real quick. I actually have a clip to show you guys, so let's go here. Let's see here. Let's go. Take that off. All right, here we go. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That was at the end of Deadpool Wolverine, and they deleted it out of the movie. It's not in the movie. So this was just dropped on Ryan Reynolds' IG. I think that's right. Ben City Reynolds. Pretty cool, man. Pretty freaking cool. Love it, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's supposed to be like one of those teasers at the end as well.
But yeah,
or like mid-credit scenes, or
like he's like I'll see you later. Like, hey, I'm here to stay, kind of.
They had a
like
throwaway line that the TVA said, where it's like, "Oh, we'll save your friends," type of thing. But I guess they chose to not include that scene. But it's implied. It's implied that they're alive. You know.
Yeah.
Van City Reynolds IG, which is Ryan Reynolds IG. And by the way, guys, it's in the news. It's very clear. You could actually find it on YouTube on multiple different interviews. But Ryan Reynolds has been rallying for this character as well. These guys are good friends. And on top of that, he really likes this character. So he really wants to do more work with him. And he said that he according to Ryan Reynolds, he's saying that that Deadpool, that was the last movie he's going to do with Deadpool, supposedly as its own movie. And then he's going to join all the Secret War stuff. And that's the end. But he has recently said about a week ago that if the MCU brings Channing Tatum's Gambit back, he will, no matter what, cancel everything to be there with this Gambit. I think is incredible. A version of this sequence is in the film, playing on one of the monitors in deep background of the TVA. So this was actually in the film. My bad. It didn't get deleted from the scene. It actually is in the movie. It's in the deep background. So it's like an Easter egg, right? And he's putting it on the forefront. It dropped on his IG. He posted it 14 hours ago. It already has just about 69,000 less likes from being 1 million likes. Channing Tatum replied in there, says, "Hee Lazes les bon temps rouler. Let the times roll, share." Oh man, these guys go back and forth, I think, too. Oh my god, how incredible. I didn't even know this. Oh my god, look at all that. That's just incredible. Yeah, you guys can't see it, but let me show you guys real quick. I gotta show you guys this. This is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, let's see here.
So have you all heard the rumors about X-Men? The X-Men movie for MCU is supposed to focus around Gambit and Kitty Pryde or something like that.
I haven't heard that.
I think I did catch that sort of headline or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't read deeper into it.
I don't know if it said that it was going to focus on them. It was just said that they were on the kind of the list of the people they want on the roster. On the roster.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I saw like one of those headline clips where it's like they're the focus of the film or something like that. Which I always take those kind of rumors with a grain of salt, but like we don't even know who the actors are going to be or anything like that. So
yeah. It seems like either way, whether Gambit's getting a movie or not, I mean, who knows? But like for sure, based on the success of Deadpool and how like much people love Channing Tatum doing this, like he's clearly going to be involved in Secret Wars.
Oh yeah, 100%.
At the very least,
definitely. Yeah. But that was pretty cool, man. He posted that 14 hours ago, which was basically about 7 a.m. And Channing, he must have tagged. I didn't check the tag, but he must have tagged Channing Tatum. And Channing Tatum jumps in there and starts talking Louisiana Creole French. It's pretty cool.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's
very
funny.
Exciting. I'm totally geeking out right now, so I apologize.
I mean, that's already that would have fit in itself is already an internet sensation, right? How many memes have you seen where it's him doing this Cajun accent, like
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're gonna be proud of what I did today or whatever, you know.
Or the one that's like, I'm about to make a name for myself has become like a pretty big meme. Like,
yeah,
like that one might live on in internet culture for a while.
Actually, you
right.
know what? I just found something on Variety, and it dropped today at 6:46 a.m. So basically, I'm guessing that this came out right after Ryan Reynolds posted that. He must have already known, but let me read this real quick. So this is Variety today, this morning. Gambit lives. Deadpool and Wolverine delete a scene, gives Channing Tatum a way out of the void. Actor says, I pray to God about making a Gambit movie. So he's saying a deleted scene, and Ryan Reynolds is saying it's actually in the movie, but it's playing in the deep background in the TVA. Okay.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds is getting Marvel fans all worked up thanks to a deleted scene from Deadpool and Wolverine that he debuted on social media. The scene confirms that Channing Tatum's Gambit not only survived the battle in the void, but also has a way out of the wasteland as an interdimensional portal can be seen opening up in a reflection of Gambit's eyes. So that light that we saw is actually that circle, that Doctor Strange ring circle. That's that light. I know his eyes light up, but I think they're a different color, right? Like blue or something, or like purple. Let's see here. These portals are what Deadpool calls Marvel spark circles. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm laughing, but that's probably what they're really called in the movie, which is what Reynolds wrote as the caption to the clip. And they allow characters to hop through the multiverse. Clearly, the door is open for Channing Tatum's Gambit to return to his home universe or anywhere in the multiverse. While it's not confirmed that Channing Tatum's Gambit will continue in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's continuity, this is the biggest confirmation yet that at least it's a very serious possibility. Ooh, interesting. So that's Variety. Variety, guys, is a trade. Okay, Variety is not a scooper insider. They're actually like a legit news source, like Hollywood Reporter. I think he's just react. That's just like kind of like a reaction to that post, right? And that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I know you guys saw me. Sorry, go ahead.
Go back real quick. So someone was asking, which Secret Wars do y'all think we're getting? I'm hoping the original, but
combination of both with the MCU continuity twist.
Yep. That's it.
I 100% agree with that statement.
Yep. So, all right, guys, you saw me go over to the slide. This is about the third time. You're probably like, who's the dude? That's Mystic Pizza guy, right? Yeah. Well, he is Jimmy Olsen. This was released by James Gunn on Twitter and I believe on Instagram. You can see it there if you want. But Jimmy Olsen's on the left from the comics, and that is the young man from Mystic Pizza and multiple other movies as well. He is the actor and casted officially as Jimmy Olsen. So all the DCU fans and Jimmy Olsen Superman fans, I hope you're excited because you're finally going to get Jimmy Olsen.
Man, I want Superman to be good so bad.
Yeah, me too.
I love Superman.
Me too.
You know, so if I'm just hoping we get this, you know, just this kick-ass, inspiring Superman film. That would be so exciting.
Well, so do you like who they cast for Superman's pal?
So I'm not super familiar with him. I've seen one show with that guy who's in it, and he did a good job. You know, in that show, it was called Hollywood.
Nice.
And he's a good actor. He's got like a, you know, he's very Boy Scout vibe. He's got that very like pure-hearted, good boy type of, you know, aura, which I think is going to work well for Superman. So I totally get why he was cast. But
I just saw him in a movie. His name is Skylar Gisondo. He's an Italian dude, and he also plays. I wouldn't say he's not a method. I don't think he's a method actor because I've never seen him do that. He's just kind of like a comedian. Like he could play both roles, like serious romantic comedy, but also on top of that, a goofball and obviously a superhero or a sidekick or what have you. I just saw him recently in a movie on Netflix that came out around Christmas. I want to say of last year. Was I saying Mystic Pizza? I meant Licorice Pizza. Duh. I don't know why I kept saying that. And I've seen that movie 1,000 times too. He was also in the latest installment of Vacation, which is from the National Lampoon's universe from 2015. But the movie that I do recommend, I love it. It is a Christmas movie, so you guys will probably want to wait till Thanksgiving to see it with your families or kids. But hey, you know what? I've seen it actually in the summertime too. But it's called, I believe it's called The Feast of Seven Fishes, and it's on Netflix. It came out in 2018, and it is great. It is a great movie. It is so good. I would give it, out of 5 stars, I'd give it a 4.5 at least. Great family movie, great stoner movie, great freaking just positive energy. What is that? Coming of age, right? Coming of age stuff. So yeah, very cool. All right, guys, it's time for the list, and we'll do a little bit of pickup. I know the show's going a little bit long, but Mickey coming was a big deal for us, so we wanted to make sure we.
My bad.
Yeah. So next time when he shows up, we'll just cancel.
Yeah.
Right.
I won't be here.
Oh, I have a question for Mickey though. So, how did your call-in live show go the other day?
Yeah,
it's
I heard
good.
about that.
It's good. You know, like I think it's hard to get in an ideal world. You know, I envision sort of like, you know, sports talk radio, right, where people call in and they like have that 2-3 minute like. I just wanted to talk about DC Superman and how excited I am about it. And it's just, we kind of hit those snippets, but it's a lot of fun to do it. But the goal is to get more people on. And so I know most people just want to like hang out in the chat and listen. So I totally get it. But,
let me ask you this: the call-in stuff, is it clear? Can you hear them? Is it kind of scratchy, kind of like the radio is? Like, I
mean, it's like the StreamYard, you know, it's just jump on the link, and my rule is you have to be on camera. Okay. Because I don't want like, you know, I don't know.
You don't want to talk to like this bubble face.
Well, yeah, I never know. Or it's like, imagine if it's like, okay, I'm going to invite Yi on and I can't see you. And then all of a sudden you're like naked. Yeah.
Yi's doing the helicopter.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm just like, oh God. And that was the end of SWAGGLEHAUS' channel, guys. Thanks. I appreciate it. You know, we had some good moments. We had some good times.
Hell yeah, dude. I've actually been thinking about like that whole call-in thing, because when I was a kid, I used to call sports radio all the time. I used to go to the King games or the Laker games with my dad. He worked at the Forum. And my buddies, who I used to get jobs for, because my dad was the manager, they're a little older than me, about 4 years older, and a couple guys in my same class. We would drive back together so we could hang out, and we lived right next to each other. But anyways, I used to call, well, Swag, you live in LA. What am I talking about? So I used to remember the Mighty 690 that used to be, and it now it's 710.
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area, and then I went to college in LA. So I don't know if I don't have the memories of this when we were young.
Well, you know John Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he comes from 690. I used to call John Ireland all the time. I used to do fake voices. I used to do this one voice where I was an Australian guy, and I go, "Hey, mate," you know, like stuff like that. And then I would do like these sounds. I call myself the dying boy. I used to go like just, and it was stupid because we were all in high school and, you know, young, and we were so like, you know what I mean, just want to cause trouble. I mean, if we weren't doing that, we were trying to egg somebody's house or toilet paper or something. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've always wondered if I did a call in, would I be able to hear them? Because I remember Bryan talking about it, but I'm really glad you answered that question.
Well, so that's how I got my start on podcasting, was a call in. Like, it was like drunken chat late one night, like, hey, does anyone want to jump on the stream? And I was like, sure, why not? I have a computer. Like, I'm not, you know, pandemic was about to, you know, lockdown was starting to happen. So I was like, there's nothing to do. I'm like, all right, I'll jump on. Like, I want to talk comics. Like, I miss talking to random people at cons about comic books. Like, why not talk to people I'm listening and chatting with on shows all the time? So, and then here I am now on like 20 channels. And
thank God. No, you're fantastic. You're a natural.
Thanks.
whatchamacallit, yeah, I mean, this is in the 90s. So this is like 92. I started doing this in 91, actually. I was in 8th grade and all through the 90s through until I started liking girls and realizing that girls don't like that stuff. So, yeah. All right, guys, let's get into it. Mickey looks tired, so I'm going to get done. I mean, you look great. Don't get me wrong, but I know you've had a long day because I know how it is. So, you guys know Mickey from SWAGGLEHAUS is here. He's going to hang out for our list. This is By the Dip episode 32.1. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys in the chat for watching the rewind. Love you guys. Love everything, all the support you've been giving me and Aaron, and it's just been incredible. So thank you very much. Let's get into Aaron's honorable mentions. These are Aaron's picks from last week's House of Stein YouTube channel, home of the original Hot 10 comic show, brought to you by the one and only Benjamin Stein. We're looking at Bloodstone, issue number 1. Okay, this is from 2001. It is a Marvel Comics, as you guys know, but we're looking at this book specifically in a CGC 9/8. As you guys know, is your first cover appearance, first in-story appearance, and origin told of, partial origin, because the origin goes through the whole series, of Elsa Bloodstone, who has a very promising outlook from the comics to live action, in my opinion. But what's going on here, Aaron?
Yeah, so this book had a low sell of $270 in the CGC 98. Currently, its 90-day average is $305, and compared to the last sales we had of last year, it's down 45%. Let me get those exact numbers from last year. I have those written down.
Oh, I based it off the 495 from 2023. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like they did a really good job with the Werewolf by Night, like, focusing in on Elsa Bloodstone throughout that series. So it's kind of. It seems to me it's kind of sad that they really haven't built up in that world yet. Like, I guess in the I don't know what's the supernatural
kind of world.
Yeah, like the supernatural stuff. Like
they will.
I mean, I felt like they delayed it another year, right, by adding like an in color version of this.
So, well, yeah, I think that's a good point, because I mean, if like we always say, read the tea leaves. I know there's a lot going on in the Blade production, but maybe that is why they're truly pushing the Blade stuff, because they got what they're looking for with Deadpool and Wolverine, and now they want to get back into the superhero multi-dimensional Secret War stuff, right? They hired the Russos again, and they're like hedging their bets, going, okay, if this doesn't work with Deadpool 3, this is before the Russos, we have the supernatural stuff that we re-released in color, and that still worked. And we also can fall back on the animation with What If. So let's see. Deadpool 3 comes out, it does well, and then they hire the Russos. So I think that could be one of the reasons why they're pushing the supernatural stuff.
Well, even out of the What If series, they're expanding on with the Marvel Zombie stuff.
Yep. That's right. That's right. We just talked about that. Interesting. Let me ask you guys, do you guys own this book?
I've never had this one, actually. I think it's cool. If I found it, just in the wild hunting, I'd probably grab it if I found it for a decent price. But I think what's cool about it is, like, I don't know too much about Elsa Bloodstone, although I really liked the Werewolf by Night special. I felt like that was probably one of the best, like, Phase 4 things that came out.
For sure.
But even movie spec aside, it's still kind of a cool cover, and you have the cheek factor, which the cake factor, which is always gonna
it's always been there.
It's always gonna make people want this book regardless of the movies.
It's always been there. I've owned this book. I've owned 3 copies of this book, 2 graded and 1 raw, and I've never noticed that until you just said it.
It goes to show you how classy of a collector I am here.
I love it. Thank you. That's awesome. But this is a really under the radar. I think this series is the entire series 1 through 4 are flying under the radar. They're great covers. I don't think there's a ton of 2 through 4. I don't know about that. I never checked.
Would you
yeah,
consider this a full
character.
moon cover then? A full moon?
Dun, dun, dun.
It
I don't have the soundboard.
It's almost 2 full moons, actually.
No,
2 hams over Miami.
Yeah.
2 rhinos in a blanket. All right.
You know, the other thing is, I only just realized this, but I don't know if either of you guys actually read this story, because Abnett and Lanning are like some of my favorite creators. I wonder, it might be pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I haven't read it before, but I definitely, and I don't own this book, so I definitely need to check it out. And then who else?
Mm-hmm.
Someone else was saying Next Wave is a fun read too. JLS.
Yeah, that's that Moon Knight cover with is it Moon Knight, or I'm sorry, it's not Moon Knight, it's Elsa, and it's a bunch of
that great wave,
women's superheroes, right?
Yeah, it's that tidal wave, right?
Super heroines, sorry. Yeah. All right, guys, let's move on to the next book. Oh, wait, this isn't on the list. I wanted to talk about this. I forgot about it. So this is issue 4. This is obviously, you guys know, Raiders of the Lost Ark or Indiana Jones homage, movie poster homage. I like this. It's the last issue, but I mean, who cares about the last issue in a 4-issue miniseries? But I think this one does it well. There's no variants. I like this book. I think it's a sleeper, and it's dirt cheap. I think it's like $10, maybe 15 at the most. I think 9/8 are like, if you can find one, under $60. So
nice.
All right, this one is the Aaron's other book on By the Dip from last week's original Hot 10 show on the one and only House of Stein YouTube channel. This is Howard the Duck, issue 1. This is from the 2nd volume in 2015. I know a lot of people get confused because they actually had a volume, I want to say volume 2. It was released in either February or March of 2015. Then they released this issue 1. I want to say October, maybe November of 2015. But this is the 2nd print sketch by Ron Lim. This is basically the 1 in 25 first print, but it doesn't have color. Actually, it does. The trades color, the dialogue bubbles color. But it's very cool. This is another book I call a con book. You guys know how I feel about Ron Lim, but what's going on here, Aaron?
Yeah, so I think they do recognize this book as a 2016 book, just to distinguish those 2 different volumes.
Well, no, at least they don't. It's 2015. The pull off the shelf date is 2016. The release date was November 2015.
Okay, yeah, somewhere where I was reading, it said like 2016. Just
that's probably the published date. It's usually 6 to 7 weeks. Well, they say 6 to 8 weeks after release date.
Okay. Anyways, so this recently had a sale of $71 in the CGC 98. The 2024 high was so far has been $125, and the 90-day average is $105. This once had an all-time high in 2020 of $340. But to put it in a better perspective, last year the high for this book was $180. The only reason why I was bringing up this book is like, I don't know if any of y'all play Fortnite.
No, but I want to.
I played it like once.
Okay, so this recent new season had just started probably a week ago. Gwenpool is a heavy, it's big in this new season because they're doing a Marvel season.
Yeah, I saw that.
She seems very fitting of Fortnite.
Yeah,
actually.
Right. With guns and all that, and then just I don't know. I think it'd be super meta if they actually did create something where it was an animated version of Gwenpool, right? And then she popped out of that and turned into live action, right, or something like that. I think that'd be kind of it'd be very fitting for this character, but I mean, it's definitely gonna be hard to pull off. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a hard character to pull off smoothly into live action, but but I feel like her popularity will grow over this next Fortnite season / whatever they're doing with, if they're gonna try to try a different writer. But yeah.
So because we are talking about this book, shout out to Aaron. Unbelievable. He's been just crushing it on the list. I mean, he's been giving me books, adding books to the list either on Friday, writing the entire list the last 3 weeks, I want to say, since he got back, or he adds books to the show. He's just been doing so well. But you guys can thank Aaron for this, because we're gonna give this away at the end of the show, guys.
Dang.
All right. So we have one right here. I have an extra. I want to give it to you guys, so make sure you hang out. We will do the randomizer. Another thing about giveaways is Manny, the comic collector, he won the last giveaway. I sent his book on the 22nd. I want to know if he received it. So reach out to me, my man. Miss you, Manny. All right, guys. Yeah, anything else you wanted to add, or are we good to go? All right. Let's get to the list. Number 5. We're looking at Werewolf by Night. This is issue number 1 from the volume 1. As you guys know, this is alluding to the, or tied into the Marvel Spotlight series. This is your first solo titled and ongoing series of, or volume of, Jack Russell's Werewolf by Night. We're looking at this book specifically in a CGC 9.2, and the reason why is I went down all the prices on this book because raws were way down, but I just couldn't get really a good gauge on the condition these sellers were selling them at, and because they just weren't what they were saying, or they didn't say it at all, and I just didn't think that was accurate or fair for our viewers. So we're gonna go ahead and shoot for a CGC 9.2 that's affordable. Low of $609, 90-day average fair market value at $790. This is a 29% drop in value from the last bump, which was last year. Fellas, we were talking earlier about the supernatural stuff. Do you think Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell, or some of the speculators were saying Jake Gomez, do you think this gentleman, this character ties in? I
mean, he's definitely in the mix, right? Like they brought him in the show, so he exists. He's in the world. I like the actor who played him, Bale Garcia, right?
Yep.
He's a great actor. So, you know, I mean, it's the same thing with like the Elsa Bloodstone stuff, where it's like, where are we with these, you know, Midnight Suns type of characters? How much are we really going to see them? It's tough. But, you know, that aside, I still really like this book. I mean, it's not his first appearance. It's because his is the Marvel Spotlight one. But I've come to really enjoy these window frame covers. I used to never like them. I used to like hate the layout for the bronze stuff that has the square. And then all of a sudden it was like just like your taste buds change. Like I just woke up one day and I was like, actually, I think these are really cool. And so I just enjoy them now. So, well,
Red Band just did a 1 in 25 with the square you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So, but I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, that was it.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, like, speaking of like taste change, like when you first like re-enter the comic world, or when you first get into comics, right? What you were collecting back then is never the same of what you're collecting now.
That's true.
Like, so and like, unless you started out with like collecting like pre-code horror and all that, like I feel like the classic trade dress and, you know, framing like this like kind of grows on you over time.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
you enter into a different time period, right?
Yeah. Well, especially once you like get the things that are on your list, like you're never done with your list. You just sort of start to add new things to the list, and you're like, all right, let me see these square window frame ones now, you know?
I mean, that has happened to me before too, though, where I've picked up a grail that I've always been looking for, and then I stopped caring, or I put my interests elsewhere.
Yeah,
like
the magic wore off, like once you had it in hand.
Right, yeah. Because it happened to me like when I picked up my Silver Age Grail, which is X-Men 1. It happened when I picked up my Modern Age Grail, which was the Spider-Gwen #1 Ghost Spider, the Ji-Hung Lee 1 in 100. Like, once I got those kind of 2 books in hand, I was like, kind of like, I don't want to say like I wasn't as obsessed with comics as I once was. Like once those moments hit.
Right.
I mean, I do have grails on my list that I want, but I know like it's either going to take a lot of focus on selling or all that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, building up the capital to make that purchase. But I mean, I guess my tastes have gotten bigger since I've seen those. Yeah.
Well, I find, you know, it's funny. Not to, sorry, Rich, we're like going
off. No, I've been talking the whole thing. Go ahead. It feels good.
I love just like the surprise factor. Cause like I can get the dopamine hit from all different types of comics. Like I can find like a $2 comic and just be like, oh dude, like,
oh you know, just where it's like, around. Oh, I've been looking for this forever.
Yeah, like a Gen X comic or something. Like
it's
Ken Lashley on it or something.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun because you can get that thrill from like both the really expensive thing that's on your list, but then I can also just go to the LCS and just be like, oh cool, like I never owned this, you know, and just be excited about it.
I mean, I have gotten excited before of like finding back issues that I've been looking for like over like X amount of years. That like once I passed over at that same shop before, but then I found it again like a year later.
Yeah.
And then that just like, well, it happened to be like being Puppy Cat #9. So Rose Besh's first professional work as a comic.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I picked that up for like $4 or something.
What's it called, Aaron?
Being Puppy Cat #9. Like once you pull up the cover, you'll probably like, oh, I've seen that before.
Okay. You said being like, hey, I'm
BEE and Puppy Cat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird title. It's a TV show on. I think you can watch it on Netflix. So,
okay, let me see.
But I mean, like, I have no attachment to that IP or anything like that. I just thought it was, you know, cool Rose, you know, first Rose Besh kind of aspect to it.
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, let's check it out. I've never heard this before, Aaron. You've been holding out, buddy.
Oh man, this is like Flipside Days book.
I don't remember, man. I don't remember.
She's got a big following.
Okay, so are we talking about this book right here, or is it a different cover?
It's a different cover.
Okay, is a variant maybe? There's an error of that one. Is it this one?
No, it's #9.
Oh shit! I'm looking at 7. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's first Rose Besh, right? And one time, because I thought for the longest time, like I wasn't paying attention closely to what issue it was. I thought it was issue 1. The story didn't have that, and I think I thumbed through that issue #9. And when I went back there, they didn't have it anymore. So I was like, kind of like, no, I missed off my window. But yeah.
Wow, good info. Some Cornbread by Aaron Yee. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Number 4. Okay, so this is a fun one. I added it on there because it's just kind of, I want to say, I don't want to use the word volatile, which I do use a lot, but I just want to say the prices were all over the place. But I love the cover. This is an Alex Ross cover from Batman issue number 125. This is the black and white sketch, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive variant from 2022. It's your first appearance of Fail Safe. We're looking at, let's see here. We're looking at CGC 9/8 of this book are down 31% from the last bump, which was last year. It was, I want to say around November, December. We have a low of $100, and the 30-day average right now is $122. I did see a lot of yellow labels. Actually, I saw like 4 or 5 that sold recently that had Alex Ross's signature, and those were selling between $250 to $300. The first thing I thought was, man, is Alex Ross's signature that premium? Like a $200 bump, almost a $170 bump. Also, the color version is pretty interesting because Shout out to Cover Price, by the way. I get all my data from Cover Price, and shout out to 130 Point as well. I use them, but they had a little bit of data. It wasn't really, I guess you could say, matching, so I had to do a little bit of deeper digging. And the color one was pretty popular. It seemed like there was more copies out there. I couldn't see a lot of copies of this, but are you guys familiar with this book? B, do you like Alex Ross's sketching? And C, what do you think of this character, Failsafe?
You go, Yi.
Okay. Your first question. I'm not familiar with this exact storyline for Batman and Failsafe. I have no idea. That means nothing to me almost. I do like Alex Ross sketch covers. Just depends on the title. Like, I feel like something like this where it has like more details in the shadowing and everything. I do enjoy that. And then I have a question for y'all as well. Like, have you ever seen Alex Ross at a convention? Like, I've seen his booth, don't get me wrong. Like, no. I've seen his booth. Like, you know, he sells comics, he displays his art everywhere. Like, it's awesome, it's amazing, like, to see, like, you know, like gallery art in the middle of a convention. But he's not like an artist that you see hanging out in an artist alley or anything like that, or even at his booth. Like, you know, he's too. Yeah, he's like, so it makes sense to me why his signature, I guess, gets a premium, like, even if it's raw or in the CGC. But I mean, it could just be like all of that combined together, right, for that perception. Like, but I mean, he is like a talented artist, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's doing murals now and all that. Like, you know, doing comics art is just like kind of like a, oh, thank you for what got me started into the art industry. It's the way I view Alex Ross.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've only been to a vendor show in Whittier, and I've been to Long Beach Expo 3 times. I've never been to a comic con, I've never been to a comic convention, so I can't really answer that question with transparency. But I would love to give you an answer next time, because I'm dying to go to a big comic con.
Yeah. I mean, he has like one of the most impressive booths, you know, at San Diego Comic-Con when he sets up and stuff. It's a massive, like you said, almost like an art gallery. Like, they built out this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, and so if if he's not showing up to that, then either he just doesn't like the experience, or it's like more of a choice. It's like, I'm gonna build up the mystique in a way, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. So mysterious. So, all right. I wanted to add, just in case, I mentioned this on Friday night in the House of Stein. If you guys are into this, like, you know, Alex Ross, because I know, like, Bryan made a good point on Friday. We added Alex Ross, all new, all different Avengers. The one in issue 1, the 1 in 50. I thought it was a 1 in 200, but it's a 1 in 50. It was a CGC 9A signature series. It had Stanley's auto, and it had I don't know if it had Alex Ross. I honestly don't know, but did have Stanley's auto on it, and it went for almost $3K just recently. And Bryan said something really, really interesting. He's like, well, I like Alex Ross a lot. He's like, you know, the modern age comic artist, like, he's the guy, but I like his stuff in color because it just looks much better. And I wouldn't say I disagreed with him, but I was kind of like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I really like his sketches. And one of the reasons why I liked him is because of this Immortal Hulk run right here. These late printings. So this is your, I want to say, first cover appearance of Red Harpy, not Harpy, but Red Harpy. And actually right here is the sketch. And he does it for like, for the second printing, he does it for like, I want to say like maybe 7-8 issues, and they're all just super cheap dollar books. Most online retailers are sold out of these, and I can see why. But yeah, I think these are actually decent for the Alex Ross fan, and or if you are specking on any of these issues, he's doing this for Immortal Hulk. These would be one of those what do you call that? Buy low, sell high kind of situations. It's obviously long term, but just wanted to give you guys that info.
John Horn brings up a good point. He says his sketching has a different purpose than normal drawn comics. He sketches to paint, which makes a lot of sense, right? Like if you just look at any formation of art, like, you know, from beginning to end, like a lot of painters, right? They don't draw out their full details because they know they're going to fill it in with paint to, you know, and then all the different layers and everything, right? So,
yeah. Desire Comics, his Immortal Hulk art is amazing. Totally agree. I actually thought Joe Bennett did a pretty good job, but I'm not really a big Joe Bennett fan for multiple reasons. But all right, guys, let's get into issue. I always do that, dude. Instead of saying number 3, I say issue 3. God, damn comics.
Oh, you could. That actually might be a good branding thing.
I know. I don't know if you noticed. Actually, yeah, I did do it in the last video. I've been putting the transition into the edit, a left page turned, like you're turning a comic, you know, the spine.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. We are looking at a one-time monster book.
Oh boy.
We are looking at Black Panther issue number 1 from 2009. This is your first cover appearance of Shuri as Black Panther. And we're looking at this in a newsstand edition or newsstand variant. It is not a price variant. Both the direct and the newsstands are $3.99 because I know you modern age key issue newsy hunters, that's a big deal to us. I get it, so I want to let you know. We're looking at raw copies, high grade raw copies. We have a recent low sale. It was actually $49 and change, but I rounded up $50. Multiple sales, but not many. 12-month average value $93, which is down 54%. This used to be like a 180 to 200 plus book, and I'm not talking pandemic. I'm talking like last year or 18 months ago. Yeah, this is a really interesting situation here, because not only did I see that sale happen, but I also found another sale, and the seller was all over newsstand, in the listing, in the description. And that one sold for like $63, and it was beautiful. And he marked it as VF near mint, and I was like, oh man, that's a 9.8. Guys, Shuri Black Panther is obviously not dead in the MCU. If you guys have been paying close attention, or even if you're a weekend warrior at the news cycle for MCU live action. But I feel like the comic community is kind of disappointed or maybe even burnt out, I would say, on this stuff. But when it comes to this book for modern age newsies, this is definitely one of the grails. It's an interesting cover. I believe it's the J. Scott Campbell cover, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. I think it is.
Yeah, it is, because he did the color splash one, the real popular one, the partial sketch. Yeah, so it's the same basic cover. What do you guys think about this?
I like the partial sketch cover.
Yeah, there's only 3,000 of those though.
Yeah, I think the best thing, no disrespect, the best thing that this book has going for it is the fact that it's a J. Scott Campbell cover. Like, I think just that aspect is the best part, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my always feeling with like the Shuri, and I think this kind of goes with Riri too, is it's like they kind of have a lot of like key books that are all kind of in the same
messy
bucket.
Yeah,
like cameo, full
messy first
cover, first title, and so it dilutes,
where first as his character or whatever.
Yeah,
because you have the Black Panther annual #1 that was released like 7 months prior, and she's in multiple panels on the splash, and in the second page she speaks. Then she's in the back page and she speaks as well, but it's not in 616 continuity. It's actually in a vision, and it's actually told in chronologically in the future. And people are calling that a cameo, but when you actually read it, it's a full appearance, and you realize, oh, this is not even 616. But yeah, I get it. It's a messy first.
But it ends up diluting kind of like where, you know, the demand for all, all the covers and stuff. So
yeah,
I think it's cool if you're, you know, a J. Scott Campbell fan. I think this is just makes sense to get it because it's pretty, it's, you know, it's good art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Mike Hansen, good friend of Bryan. I just found out him and Bryan have been friends for a while. I had no idea. I hadn't talked to him in probably like 3 or 4 years, but he used to own, or maybe he still does own a company called Exatari. And you guys probably know him from the OA stuff or what have you, but he has this list. And I actually met him. I was selling comics on eBay, I want to say 2018, and that's how I actually met him, was through eBay. He was trying to buy my first Red Hulk newsstand, and my dad was helping me at that time, and we worked out a deal with him. But I ended up gifting him this book. But this was one of these books that he has this infamous, everybody knows in modern newsy hunters, he has this infamous modern newsy grail list, right? All first or key issues that are coming in that are modern age, that are newsstands. And this was like on top of it. So this is one I always look for in a newsstand, always, and I will always pick it up. I love the cover, like Swag was saying. It is a beautiful J. Scott Campbell cover. It's amazing.
Well, when actors take on a political stance, no matter what it is, I'm not here to debate that. But like, do you think that turns their appeal like way level down, instead of like everyone can enjoy this character now, only a certain demographic likes this character now, or whatever?
Like, I would respond to that. That's in the eye of the beholder. Depends on what the politics are and what that person's opinion is.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've seen it happen to like multiple actors, not only in Marvel, but also in like Star Wars and stuff like that,
including Letitia Wright. You're right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it stops the individual who like wants it, but you know what? I wonder if it does do, if like, well, let's say you had this, right? And I just decided to post it on Instagram and be like, hey guys, you know, here's my cool first Shuri cover. It's like, you know, someone in the comments eventually is going to mention it. And so then it becomes like even if I didn't really think about it, it's like, now it's a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, maybe that does have an effect.
This character's dead. She's got a big mouth anyways.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know,
nobody cares about Letitia Wright and Shuri in the MCU.
Yeah. My example of that type of thing is I always think of ASM 101. It's like, I don't think you can be a Morbius fan without someone making a snarky comment.
Yeah.
About the movie.
Good point. What
up,
Crimson Terror? Appreciate you. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Number 2. All right, we just talked about this book. Of course, you guys know it's on the day of Buy the Dip. Of course, I'm gonna look at prices, right? So we're looking at the Mike Del Mundo cover A, issue 1 of the Vision Volume 1, 12-issue volume series from 2015. Your first appearance of Virginia Vision, and the Sun. I don't know what his name is, but this particularly in a CGC 9.8, we're looking at a low of $61. There's a 90-day average of $91 US. This is down massively, 40% in a CGC 9.8. Guys, after what we just talked about, what you saw Alex Perez tweet, are we reaching or I should say, are we reaching and it's kind of like, or do you think that dot connection that we're making with that tweet maybe could push the crowds to move this book? And let me add to that. And if this book does move, do you think it is a good play?
We think
well, is it one of those things where like history kind of repeats itself, right? When people didn't know what WandaVision was going to be like, and then people are speculating on this book.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, with like, you know, everything that we covered earlier, is it going to kind of like repeat that cycle again? Like, are people going to get excited about the storyline, and then like is it gonna kind of flip? Personally, I'm just not a huge Tom King fan from his writing and like Batman and stuff like that. But I mean, I know a lot of people were saying like, you know, this is his greatest work and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, his towards the end of that Batman series before Tynion jumped in, man, that shit was nothing to write home to mom about, man. So I get that part, but yeah, everybody likes this series. I mean, if that tweet that we just saw, and in case you are joining us later, Alex Perez is an insider journalist from the Cosmic Circus, and he had just tweeted a follow-up from a question from another scooper that's pretty popular and pretty accurate, My Time to Shine Hello, along with that other one we saw. I believe the Twitter was called Scarlet Witch Updates. If Elizabeth Olsen is in fact confirmed, this is from a story from Deadline, recent from 23rd, is confirmed for the Vision Quest series. What character would you like her to play? And I believe that what she's really asking is, do you want her to show up as Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, or would you like her to play somebody else? And he is tweeting the guts or a panel of one of these issues, and it's Virginia Vision. So yeah, he's saying, I don't know if he's saying that's who he thinks. Might be just his opinion, could be just a theory, or maybe it is something to investigate and connect the dots. But
it's market research to see what people's reaction are.
Yeah. And you know, those peaks and valleys we talk about all the time, Aaron, man, this book's got tons of them. And I'm talking from Raw to 9.6 to 9.8, all through the pandemic, through last year and before. So, yeah, I like this one. I think this is a good play, even if it doesn't happen and she ends up not showing up live action. I think this is one that I think I want in my collection. And I actually wouldn't even mind putting this 9.8 you know, of this regular cover on my wall. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. Personally, just aesthetically, I love this cover. And
yeah,
you know, I think this is one of those ones where, you know, if you find it for cheap, you're just like out there.
Oh yeah.
Come across it, you know, for $1, $5, whatever. There's probably going to be a moment when this becomes that book on the hot Stein list. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be
a hot Stein list. I'm calling it that now. Yeah, for sure.
The time to sell. It's so red hot. Get it out of your hands.
Time to sell, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you guys remember during WandaVision, so what was that? 2021 pandemic, I know was, you know, inflating the market, but this book was this character, I wouldn't say Virginia, but Viv Vision was heavily speculated on, right? For WandaVision. But,
well, really quick, you know, about all those things, I always find it interesting when, like, if you look at it, the other like Marvel, say, licensing IP stuff, like whatever, like a board game or a video game, or maybe you see like Pajama Pants or stuff. Like sometimes if you pay attention to those characters, you'll see like, oh, they're using Viv Vision for all these things, you know, and you start to think like, oh, are they trying to make this character a thing because they have plans? So that stuff is interesting too.
She actually does I'm glad you brought that up, because it crossed my mind of a recent incentive I just saw. Let me see if I can find it. It is, I don't think it has anything to do, or it's not even tied in. She's in the series, but it has nothing to do with this. Let me see if I can find it. And I remember seeing it going, wow, that's amazing. No, it's not champion. So maybe it's let's see, variant. Oh, there it is. All new Wolverine 13, the Art Adams, the percentile qualifier. Let me pull it up.
Sleepwalker toy effect. I remember when that happened.
Yeah. So this is here.
Ben Vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Steel Cartel too. It's funny you mentioned that Morbius book. I was watching that one. I was curious what that was going to sell for.
Let's see.
Okay, so I have a question about this cover.
Sure.
Why does Vision look like a milkman in this cover? I think it's just a white shirt, right?
It works with the vibe, you know. There's always a milkman in the 1950s suburban neighborhood,
stopping at everyone's house, right? And then
buying newsstand comics for his kids to destroy when he gets home.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, let's check it out. So here's I don't know how I saw this book. I don't know how it come up. It's it's funny. You can ask Aaron. Aaron and can attest to that. Actually, Mickey does sometimes. Yeah, you do. What am I thinking? You do videos of market trends and stuff. So you probably come across this too. Like books just pop up somewhere, and you're like, "Whoa, what's that sale? That's a great cover." And all of a sudden, you know, it happens. Yeah, it happens a lot. And when I saw this, I had seen this cover before. It was not like, you know, it's not anything new, but I thought it was pretty interesting that it, you know, was in an all new Wolverine book. I think it's cool. It is a percentile qualifier. Apparently, Comic Shop's qualified to order this whatever you call it, retailer unlocked variant, all new Wolverine 13 if they met or exceeded 90% of orders of the same series issue 10. So take that as you will. I don't know if that's 1 for 1 or if that just opens the floodgates, or I should say 1 for 2 and then open the floodgates, 1 for 1, or order as many as you want. I have no idea, but that is the information that is listed here. So yeah. All right, guys. One more thing I wanted to add. There are 418 CGC 9/8s on the census. There are 200, I want to say 15 9/6s. I don't see any 9/9s. And I was right. Retailers ordered this book just around at or about 42K. So I'd say 45K and under, but you guys do what you want. All right, guys. Last book of the list. I want to thank Mickey for joining us. Thank you, Mickey. I really love your channel. You're doing great things. We'll go ahead and touch on that. And let's get into this book. Number 1, buy the dip book for episode 32.1. Thank you guys for watching. We're looking at Black Adam, The Dark Age, issue number 1. This is the Alex Ross variant, raw high-grade copies from DC Comics from August of 2007. This is your first solo series for Black Adam. That's the key issue. This is cover B. This just sold for a recent low of $28. A 30-day average is $31. This is down at or about 65% from its last bump, which was right at or around when Black Adam was going around. It was basically a $100 book. Love this cover. What do you guys think of this?
Oh man, this book's
Poor
gonna
Rock.
launch.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this book is gonna launch back up when Dwayne Johnson shows up to a Comic-Con to sign books again.
Yeah.
Or promote a movie or whatever.
Yeah, the Black Adam, you know what's funny is like it doesn't matter what age you were, you know, whether you were a modern, a copper, a silver, or golden age Black Adam fan, all of his books, they are on the dip. That's for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I like this one. The only thing I've had close to anything Alex Ross with Black Adam has been the Justice Society run he did, where what is that one? I think it was like issue, I want to say either 17 or 27, where it's an all black cover and it has basically it has kind of like the same looking Black Adam. But I like this book. I thought it was cool. I thought it was either a incentive or a percentile qualifier or a retailer unlock variant when I first saw it. But I guess it was open to order, right? That's what everybody's saying. So.
I don't know too much about this one.
Yeah,
actually.
that's what my comic shop's saying too. Let's see here. I'll just double check. But yeah, I mean, well, I'll go ahead and add this. In my opinion, I think this is more of a like Alex Ross fan / Black Adam must-have key fan, because you want to have like first appearance, second appearance, origin for solo, you know, this and that. And I think that's pretty important. But personally, I don't know where this character is going with the new DCU under James Gunn. I haven't heard anything. Have you guys? I really haven't.
I don't think Discovery knows what's going to happen with DC.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like being like half joking, half serious, like, you know, even they're like, oh, we have major debts that we need to pay. Yeah. Like, so, you know, was,
you know, it's so crazy because like I think he's gonna do it. I think it'll be good. James Gunn's Superman, but like everything is riding on that movie. like if it doesn't crush it, all those other projects like Booster Gold and stuff, like there's no way. We're not gonna see that stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, do you think it has to hit like Deadpool levels of making money? Like where
it's a good question. Yeah, I don't know what the magic number is, but I think in the kind of pass fail, you know, sort of grading curve of it, it's like if it's a fail, like I think it. Yeah, I don't know if those other projects are gonna get.
I think it has to be at or around Robert Pattinson's Batman at least.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know what I mean? So
domestically, like just domestically, like around that number, whatever it is.
Well, Mickey would know more about that. I don't know what.
I think like this was that like worldwide, it's like a 700 million kind of box office.
Oh,
okay. So you kind of have to be around there.
Okay, so you have to have like 9 figures, basically.
Yeah.
Approaching the 10.
Like, yeah.
Did you say 700 million?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what Batman hit. Pattinson Batman.
Okay. I feel confident. I think James Gunn can do it. You know, based on precedent, it makes us a little worried. Not on James Gunn, but just on DC Entertainment alone, right? DCU.
Yeah. Right.
But I mean, hey, Peacekeeper. What's his name? John Cena's what's his name? Peacekeeper. Is that his name? Yeah.
Maker?
I mean, that's a Peacemaker. I forgot what it's called, but I'm brain farting. But the second volume, the second series is coming out, and everybody's excited for that. The Penguin. First 4 Penguin episodes just released their how long what is that the time of each episode, and there was a couple little sneak previews that are on Reddit right now, so seem pretty popular. I'm pretty confident.
Well, I mean, he's already dipped his toes into DC, right? Like with the Suicide Squad with Peacemaker. So like it's not like Superman is
Peacemaker.
Well, it's like his first it's not like it's his first project, and it's like you have to succeed. Like, you know, it's obvious he does his research into writing, or you know, into DC characters and Marvel, whatever he's working on. So, you know, he's obviously very passionate about his project.
Yeah. No, I think he's gonna do great. I just it's like, well, what Derek said, like the expectations. I mean, there's probably just a little bit of nerves, you know, if the movie doesn't do well, it definitely throws a wrench in the gears of their plans.
So Caesar, aka your boy the alien, is saying Batman 683 from 1995, first appearance of Penguin Iceberg Lounge, and it's a good girl cover. Just discovered this today. Ooh, sorry, Mickey, I cut you off. Well, you go.
No. That was it. But you know, just going back to the Black Adam character and James Gunn stuff. Yeah, I don't know if there's any. He hasn't really talked about this part of the DC area. And who's the actor who played Shazam?
Oh, was it Zach something, right?
Yeah. Like I don't know if that guy has said anything about, you know, being involved in James Gunn stuff either, which I kind of relate to the Black Adam side of the universe.
So your boy the alien.
Oh, sorry. So we're gonna see Ezra Miller as the Flash again too, right?
I hope. I thought that was. I like him. He's cool. I mean, I know he's got a troubled personal life, but who doesn't? Right?
Yeah.
You know, we're human. And I mean, until the aliens reveal themselves, you know, right before we're actually going to have an enemy shoot a nuclear weapon at us, I think people should give everybody a second chance or keep an open mind, because no one's perfect, especially behind closed doors. So So your boy the alien is saying, I'll bring that up again. I wanted to bring this up, and shout out to him. Thank you very much. Batman 683 from 1995, first appearance of Penguin Iceberg Lettuce. It's a good girl cover, just discovered today. Yeah, so I stacked this book in 2017. I got about 10 copies, maybe 9 copies, high-grade copies. I have one reader's copy. And this book got hot, maybe it was 2018. It was when Crush first appeared. appeared, and this was tied in somehow. I haven't read it. Somehow it was tied in somewhere in the guts. Like, remember those rumors about Harley Quinn and what's his name, Lobo, having the baby, and it was Crush. It was like, I don't know, it was like 6 years ago. Somehow, I don't know if this exactly ties in, but it was like right around the same time. So maybe I'm just getting transponded. But yeah, that's a good point. It is a good girl cover. I mean, it's got everything. It's got the sexy stockings, and it's a badass cover. And it kind of goes with the live action Penguin style that we have right now, with the mafioso kind of, boss, hey, forget about it, kind of like Capo, in that universe. And I like this one. Good call, your boy the alien. This is not Batman, it's actually Detective Comics, but I get that, I do that too, your boy. I get them sometimes mixed up. It's actually Detective Comics 683. So very cool. Thank you for that. All right. Yeah, so I mean, I think this one is pretty cool. I don't know if I like it long term. I don't think I would buy this as a spec book, but I would be interesting looking for this book. I wouldn't say as a play, but more of like a knick-knack for my collection.
Yeah.
This is like I was saying, this is an Alex Ross / Black Adam, in my opinion, key issue must have.
For sure.
You must get it signed by Alex Ross and and
which is going to
Dwayne
boost
Johnson.
the price of the book by like $250.
Yeah, and to get Dwayne Johnson on there too.
Oh yeah,
dude. Then you're looking at $500 for just signatures.
All right, guys, that's the end of the show. I want to thank Mick, aka SWAGGLEHAUS, for joining us. He's I mean, I know it sounds like I'm literally I'm cheek deep in his cheeks. I'm giving him so much love, but I actually really respect him. I like him a lot. I really enjoy your content. It's one of the first and only people that I always go and check out every time I get a notification. I don't really leave a lot of comments or what have you, but I really love his stuff. He's at 22,000, almost 23,000 subs. He's got close to 900 different videos, live streams, playbacks, and he's got a great page. What a beautiful little emblem. I enjoyed putting this, removing the background, put it on the thumbnail was amazing. I wanted to put Mick on the thumbnail because he's not easy on the eyes, I would say, but yeah, he's got he's got about 9 hours ago. He's got here 99 Newsstand. You guys all know him. Very active, and I would say a prominent member of the community. So make sure you give 99 Newsstand a follow on IG.
I'm about to bring on.
Here we go, right here. There he goes. Here we got the captions on.
Needs no intro.
But we'll go ahead and turn this down. And here you go, 99 Newsstand saying what's up. So this dropped today, right, Mick? Today?
Yeah. It was technically a clip out from our stream discussion, but Manu was on the end of the stream, and I always figure that most people don't see the whole thing. So I felt like his was worth kind of pulling into its own video. But yeah, we were kind of recapping the the current situation going on with CGC, with all the kind of the bending and creating the spine ticks and stuff. So kind of recapping that whole thing, which is, is very interesting. Always something with CGC.
Oh yeah. And you know what? If anybody's going to find out about it early and often, along with verifying, is 99 Newsstand, and you can count on Mickey, aka SWAGGLEHAUS, to report it. So shout out to him for looking out for us community members. He also had a comic book collectors call-in show, which I'm very interested in looking into, because like I told you earlier, I used to call these radio shows and stuff, but very cool intro and all that good stuff. He actually does stuff like Aaron and I and Ben and Bryan, where he does lists, more of like a market trend thing, I would say. He does spec, $1,000 budget. What comic should I buy? Love it. I mean, this is just I would say, in my opinion, top 5 comic book YouTube channels out there right now, bar none. I don't care if he had 1 sub or 1 million subs. He's definitely one of my favorites. So make sure you guys are subbed up to SWAGGLEHAUS on YouTube.
Were you nominated for
Appreciate
any of the CBC awards, or do you follow that?
I did get, well, I got tagged in one. So yeah, I did get 1 nomination, which was cool to see. I think
I saw that. I voted for you.
Speculation one, which I think I was nominated for that one last year, but yeah, I fully expect to lose to Comic Tom, is in the same category.
But he's in like three categories. So
yeah, I know. But it's the joke. It's just, you
gotta throw Mick a bone, man. Come on.
See, I actually ran into SWAGGLEHAUS at San Diego. I never
we
saw
got to hang out.
Yeah, and I never saw Comic Tom like walking the floor.
Well, I feel like I feel like I should get your vote more than Comic Tom.
There you go. I agree.
100. The personal relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Honestly,
I mean, that's what he said after I drank like 7 whiskeys or something like that. So
yeah.
Honestly, I went there and voted, and I didn't vote for anybody, any friends or anything. I went there honestly because I was nominated. Aaron and I were nominated. Spec Media was nominated on the original list. We obviously didn't make the finals, but there's always next year. But I wanted to go there and be fully transparent, even though I was the only one in the room, and I went to every single category, and I voted on who I thought should win based on what I've experienced, not my experience personally, but my experience on online via content. Comic Tom, I mean, his stuff is like, it's so good. I mean, it's A-list professional. It's like edited beautifully. I mean, I can't step to that stuff. Characters on the show, I like them in the sense that they're positive and stuff like that, but I don't agree with almost anything they say. And a lot of the things they say, it blows my mind. But I don't know Comic Tom. I've never met him, but I don't have anything against him, and I respect him in that sense. Now, when I go to see him in 3 different categories or 2 different categories, whatever, and I see somebody like Mick in there. Now, I'm friends with Mick, but I was not friends with Mick when I discovered his channel. And I love what Mick does. He does an assortment like Spec Media does different stuff. He does a big spread, and that's what I like. And his stuff is A-list okay. So I went ahead and voted for you, brother.
That's nice of you to say. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
You just got that right for who the better comic book writer is. So
I was a little upset that Bryan didn't make it. I was really upset, and I started voicing via DM. Shout out to my boy Lefteros and at Black Crown Comics. I'm glad he made it. I'm really glad Freddie made it as well. Good people, but we have a little group. I think Aaron's in that group too. I was going nuts, and I was like, dude, I better step back. I'm about to do something, Steve. I'm about to be 2017 Richie. So I didn't want to do that. So I just said, I just walk away, go over there and Richie and vote who you really truly follow and you like, not who you want to hang out with or who makes you laugh when you're backstage. And I did, and we'll see what happens. So
nice.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it. We want to do pickups real quick. Swag, do you have any pickups? Or
oh yeah, I forgot. You guys go first. Let me grab. I got like something over here.
Aaron usually goes first. We'll go ahead and let him.
Let me go grab something real quick. It's a really cool giveaway.
No worries. No worries. I'll go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. And we will do the giveaway, guys. We are going to do the giveaway, so make sure you stay. I'll have Aaron run the randomizer, and we are giving away this book right here. This is Howard the Duck. Issue number 1. This is the second printing. Ron Lim I believe it was a percentile qualifier, or I don't know how retailers were able to assess this, but it is second print. It even has it on the barcode. But yeah, well, I'm going to give this away to a lucky winner, and we're going to have Aaron run the randomizer. Let me see here. I want to show you guys what. Hang on 1 second. All right. Now, I have not been buying stuff because I have, I mean, I sound like a broken record, but you guys know my dog passed and vet bills get very expensive. So I haven't really had, or even trying to pick up really anything. I just haven't had the money. But I went ahead and grabbed this from my comic shop. They had it for $5.99 in near mint. This is Batman 147, and this is the 1 in 25 incentive variant. I want to say it's a Jimenez, but I could be wrong. I like the cover. I really like Batman a lot. And I got the Spawn 330 black sketch. So when I actually do make it to San Diego Comic-Con, I can either find Greg Capullo, Todd McFarlane, Brett Booth, or whoever draws Spawn, and I would like them to do it in a gold or silver paint ink. So I got this. I actually got 2 of them. They were only like $3. So
I have no idea how to get a McFarlane commission. If you figure it out, let me know. So
yeah, okay.
So some random like baseball stuff pickups. So this is a Topps promotional hat, right? That Lids is selling. So I thought this was a cool one. I bought 2 of them, and it comes with a promo pack of cards. And here are some of the hits I picked up from that. So
Zagelov, yeah,
yep, right.
Mm-hmm.
How about?
Wow, I never seen those before. Those are cool.
Yeah, so they're promo cards that Lids is doing with Topps Chrome.
Yeah. Nice.
A manga, right?
So good, dude. Yeah, that was gonna be a good one. Mojo, it's random live chat, just to let you know. So thank you for asking that.
Yeah, so just type anything in the live chat. I've been gathering comments since you announced that there was a giveaway. So there's like 32 entries right now. So just keep writing stuff. If you haven't written something already, Evan Carter, rookie.
Yeah,
like the 86 throwback, right? Here's a cool one. Wyatt Langford.
Oh, he's so good. Nice.
Yeah. So those were the three big hits, or 4 big hits I got out of those bonus packs. So it's kind of pricey for like a for a $45 hat and three cards, but all right, check this out. Coca-Cola sent me this, so those giveaways that you see at gas stations, like,
yeah,
oh, no one wins those. I actually won one. Like, what the heck? Like,
wait, what?
Yeah, so this is a Coca-Cola varsity jacket, right? But it was also in collaboration with Marvel.
Whoa.
So it's a Wolverine.
Oh.
Yeah. But check out the inside. Yeah. Like, it even has characters on the inside. And so I paid nothing for this. Like,
nice.
It was just like, literally, I bought a Coke at a gas station. I scanned a QR code, entered in my email, and I won a contest. Like, I was just like, kind of like, oh, this is real? Like, people actually win this stuff? Like,
that's so funny.
Yeah.
You gotta buy a lotto ticket right now. Like, you're hot.
Yeah.
That's why I open cards. So
yeah, or
there you go. Yeah, that too.
Or the other way to look at it is you wasted your lotto ticket win on the Coke jacket.
Honestly, yeah. So it's cool. It was really cool. It's officially licensed by Marvel and Coca-Cola. So it came with yeah.
Are you gonna wear it? Or are you gonna flip it? Can you get jackets graded?
I don't think you can get jackets graded. I mean, I don't know. I don't know of a company that does that yet. That might be something to look into, or grading hats, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. Love it. Yeah. Aaron. Congratulations, man. That's massive.
Yeah. So I have some comic pickups, but they're still in packaging. But yeah, I thought this was too cool to share. That like I got the email saying like, oh, congrats, you won. Like, send me your address, and then it was like titled with the company and stuff like that. So I was like, let me look up this company. Is this real? And then it was a legit company that does tons of giveaways. And I was like, I was like, okay, I'll send it. And then it's like, well, in 4 to 6 weeks, you'll get it. And so I really like put it in there and then didn't really think about it. And then it showed up one day. I was like, kind of like, oh, awesome.
All right, Mick, you're up.
Well, since we started the show talking about San Diego Comic-Con, I got this book at San Diego that I never got to talk about or show off. But this one is the Kendrick versus Drake that was done by Television and Vinny Kumar. Friends of you guys and the channel. I got to meet them, along with Yi at San Diego. But they made their rap battle AI art cover here.
You see the font on the bottom where it says blank canvas? It kind of reminds me of Nintendo Entertainment.
For sure. It's definitely the Nintendo style, right?
Nice.
Yeah. And this one's numbered.
Ooh, numbered.
Yeah. They got the number on it. So 66 of 125.
That's awesome.
I think I ended up with 99.
Oh, 99 is a good number to get.
Right? But I think it's funny. This is the upside down version of your number.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
I thought this was pretty cool. I think like it sold for
a lot
on eBay actually.
Yeah. Well, Aaron probably knows that.
The retail price was $35, and I think they were selling at the end of the con for like 120, I want to say, or something like that. Wow. Maybe 80 something. I think there was an active bid as the con was ending. And it was up to like 80 something. I don't know what it ended at. So I want to say it was probably around that 120 number, I think is what it hit, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. But y'all know how to look at eBay sold. So
I'll have to check it out. But it was cool. It was cool to get this, and these ones are always fun. I like the San Diego, the Comic-Con exclusive books where you actually just hold it because it's a memory.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
For sure.
Yeah, and then also meeting like Tilla, like because he was relatively new into the comic into the comic industry.
He's a good dude. I like him.
Yeah, but I like how he's so eager to learn, like how we all kind of think, right? And then like because he's also doing like market research by talking to us too.
It's
like kind of like what drives a book to keep on going, and then like would and then he put up scenarios of like, would this appeal to you?
Right.
Yeah. So, and then what he did with this book, I thought was really ingenious, right? Where it has it's like a rap battle between Kendrick and
it's very, very culturally relevant.
Right, exactly. Without like really choosing a side either, but yeah.
Hell yeah. So everybody in the chat loves it. Loves both of your guys' stuff. Amazing feedback. I'm really glad these guys got. I love that Tilla and Television book. I didn't know. I didn't know Vinny did it. I just thought he was like promoting it. But
no, he was in partnership with Vinny and Bird City.
Bird City, was it? Okay.
Yeah, I think all three of them kind of formed.
Personally, honestly, those were two massive, amazing pickups. But I'd rather have the jacket. It's not like you had to choose or anything, but I just wanted to put it out there because I love that jacket. But I like
jacket is me.
Right, and then like I do drink Coca-Cola, so like there's that, and I do love my Marvel stuff.
Oh hell yeah!
But I live in Texas, so like I can only wear the jacket for maybe 2 months, maybe once a month. Out of the year.
I just saw this documentary on Apple. It's called Cowboy Cartel. Have you guys heard of it? It's about this cartel called Los Zetas, and they were laundering money through racehorses in Texas, and they linked them to laundering money here at my dad's work, Los Alamitos, and they raided them all at the same time at my dad's work. My dad's like, "Oh, I was there when it happened." But yeah, I wanted to bring that up. You guys should watch it. It's really good. You don't have to be into horse racing, but it's amazing. But
good to know.
Anyways, guys, do you have anything else? Anything you want to? Do you have anything coming up, Mickey? Besides is your normal stuff or anything special?
Just the normal stuff. Yeah, I'll probably there's a big Comic Link sale that just happened at the auction house. So I kind of wanted to cover some of the big books over there because those ones don't really get reported into the
Hell
GPA
yeah
stuff. So it's kind of fun to like.
I like that.
Hey, here's some cool books from it. So I'll probably do a video with that this week, and then other than that, we'll see as it comes.
So make sure you guys are subbed up to Swag's channel and make sure the notifications are on. I know some of us turn them off because I know I turn mine off for probably a lot of channels because some guys are just putting out so much stuff, and my phone's already buzzing from all the fantasy football stuff, and I'm a fiend when it comes to that stuff. So I try to narrow it down. So make sure your notifications on for that guy. I was like, this guy. And Aaron, besides Bryan's show, Long Story Short, and Hot 10 and Saturday show. I mean, dude, there's so much stuff you're doing. It's amazing. It's such an
and then
amazing
sometimes on
man.
Sunday now, like if I miss Saturday, I'm starting to show up on Hot Book Alert on Mercenot's channel. Like I get the invite for that. Yeah, I try to always like have like 2 days off, like sometime during the week, and then it's usually Sunday and Monday. But last week I had Saturday. I took off Saturday. I didn't show up on Bryan's channel for Modern Comic Mayhem. I still need to catch the rewind on that because I guess apparently there was exciting stuff that was happening. So, but yeah, this Thursday I won't be on Long Story Short. Mercenot will be hosting the show.
Very cool.
Yeah, my band is playing live in Houston. So
where
if
you
you're
guys?
in the Houston,
Houston. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're in the Houston area, I will have a flyer up. I guess I'm dipping my toes into the promo game now. Show, like if we don't get enough people showing up, then like paying the out of town bands is coming out of my pocket. So yeah, so I'm putting up money to risk it for the biscuit. So. But
spend money to make money,
Yeah, exactly. It's that situation. You got to spend money to make money. So
that's right.
So I'm promoting it here. So Thursday, I believe we're playing at the end. Let me double check.
When are you making the Sticky Goose video, by the way?
Yeah. So I will be
make a Sticky Goose video.
Are we gonna keep? Are we gonna? Let's just keep it on wraps for now. Okay. Steve is asking, so did they ask for a size? Because all I'm seeing is large. I'm thinking for the jacket.
So I was thinking about that. Like, I'm pretty sure when I filled out whatever data form, it was large or whatever. Like, it asked me what size I wanted, if I won, I think. But when they asked me for my address, they did not ask for a size.
Okay.
Yes, we are playing at the end this Thursday, August 29th. Doors are at 6 p.m. First band starts at 7.
How much?
$10.
That's not bad. That's cool.
Yeah.
They still do paper flyers, Aaron, by the way, or is it all digital now?
It's mainly all digital. I haven't seen a paper flyer at a show in quite a while. But I saved all my paper flyers from when I played shows like 10 years ago.
Good. That's smart.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the giveaway, my man.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get you guys out of here.
Let me share my screen and we can knock that out.
Manny the Comic Collector. Calling for Manny the Comic Collector. Please contact me via IG or I believe you have my number. You can text me. I want to know if you got your book yet because I did check tracking yesterday and it said it was still USPS had it and I sent it on last Friday. So I just want to make sure. All right, guys, we are giving away this book. This is Howard the Duck 1. This is the second print limb.
Oh, your boy, the alien.
Our boy, the alien, aka Caesar wanted. Congratulations. I know it's in a tore up bag, but don't worry, brother. I will make sure it looks pretty. And because you are my friend, and I very, 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 very appreciative of you filling those fantasy spots. I know you only thought you were going to be in one league, but then you're like, oh shit, I'm in two and I already locked the league and it's an extra 100. So I'm going to go ahead and give you this one too. I'm going to give you Power Fist, Power Man and Iron Fist issue number 50. This is your first time they're in the title together. So they actually appear as a team, I think like 3, 4, 5 issues, but it's the first time it's actually on the book. So you're going to get both these, my man. And I love it. I have a couple of these. I think it's a fun one, and I'm gonna dress them up pretty with my light 2s and fullbacks for you. So thank you very much. All right,
that's awesome.
All right, guys, that was it. That's the end of the show. As you guys know, we will do what we normally do. I'm gonna sign these guys off, and then we are going to show you guys the rundown of the list along with the honorable mentions. Mick, I probably won't see you, so I'll hit you up or probably just see you around. And thank you for joining us. You have an invite any time you want, and I really want to talk to you more about Magic the Gathering. So let's figure out a time.
Well, thank you again for inviting me. We'll definitely have to talk cards at some point. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think
you, Mickey.
Hell yeah, we thank your people too. I can see a lot of your people showed up. So thank you guys. Thank you all SWAGGLEHAUS people. I really appreciate it. Aaron, love your brother. I will I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon. So
okay.
All right guys. Later.
Take it easy.